There. I gotta come off first. Hoping I might be able to double duty one of these AC spring lock line removers. If not, I'm gonna have to go buy the tool for it because I forgot about it, of course. We'll find out here in just a minute. Well, it was going pretty good. You see, I got the fuel line disconnected. I had to go buy a separate kit though. The AC version of that was a little bit too wide. I got the AC compressor off. Got the alternator off. It's a matter of unplugging these and unbolting things now. They're doing real good, except I don't know if you can see that or not. Bolt snapped off for no apparent reason. Somebody probably over torqued it. And I want to drill that out. So I think I may just save the rest of this for tomorrow. But it's going pretty easy. Just a little time consuming because you got to take your time, make sure you make a mental note of where everything goes. And of course, that's what the camera's for too. Anyhow, it is what it is. I'm going to stop a minute here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Make a note of how this linkage is hooked up here. I'm going to attempt to take the throttle body off as a unit. Just to save some headache and putting everything back together. My throttle body looks to be in pretty clean, decent shape, so I'm not really too worried about having to disassemble it to clean it. I've already taken the 2 bolts out of the top here, and that's when I realized I hadn't recorded in a while. I might want to get a shot out of this is all put together. I had another bolt snap off. This one, right. Where'd it go? I guess it's that one right there in the front. But anyhow, for some reason the front 2 bolts on the manifold are really tight and they just snapped right off and they were corroded, which didn't help anything. We got everything unplugged here pretty much. I'm going to leave the top radiator hose on here, take it off with the manifold, I'm hoping. Save on some mess. That bracket here, this one right here, it actually spins around that way and it mounts to that bolt right there. And I have still got to unplug that sensor there, which I believe is a coil. Got cut off last night. I ran out of memory on that card. I put a new one in. As I was saying, I wanted to pull the throttle body off with one piece. And that worked out pretty good, actually. Right here. Oh, I don't have to worry about how the linkage goes back together, the springs or any of that. Come right off as one piece. It was actually easy. Hopefully it goes back together the same way. And got everything off except for the bypass hose and the radiator hose. Clamps are loose. I'm going to try to pull it off there without actually taking them off. We'll see what happens. Okay, well, I had a feeling this was about to get complicated on me. It's been going pretty smooth so far. That's usually a bad sign. What I'm going to have to do to get this thing off of here, that right there, that's something to point with, show you what I'm talking about. And I don't want pliers. Anyhow, this thing right here, this bracket, there's bolts, 2 down here, 1 back behind the pulley there. There's 3 on the other side underneath the alternator. And that whole thing is one big bracket. It's all got to come off there because the bypass hose is under there and it's been under so long it's not wanting to come loose. And I've got 2 bolts that snapped off that got to be drilled out, and I'm going to have to be able to pry on the end of this thing to help break them loose. So that's the next project. Hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, I better stop here before I get too much further. I get ahead of myself. That bracket, which is whatever I did with it, that bracket, that's that big bracket that was covering everything. Pull the bypass hose off, we're all clear, blah blah blah. And then back here, discovered, you can see that or not, but there's another bolt hiding back there, all the way back there, all by itself, by the sugar. I had to unplug 2 plugs. You can see the one sticking up, but another one behind it. They go into the wiring harness right here, right there, right there. The gray one and the white one. So don't forget, that's a note to myself. And hopefully I'll get this thing out of here sometime today. Now, I got everything off of here. Unplugged, unscrewed, unfastened. I even pulled the hose off, made a big mess with the coolant. But this little bugger right here, which is where the bolt snapped off, and then this one directly across from it in the same position on the other side snapped off. And they're creating a situation where I'm going to have to break out the drill, I guess, because as you can see, it's hanging up in the front, which means those bolts are actually holding, even though they're snapped off. I was hoping there wasn't enough of the shank left to hold the thing in there, but obviously that would have been too simple. So, I'll get back to you after I get done drilling out some holes. Well, before I grabbed the drill, I thought I'd try something else. I had a little brainstorm. I got a little bitty brain, so it was a little bitty storm. But I think it was sufficient. Took a screwdriver and drove down in front of the holes where the bolts are broke off, and I was able to actually break the seal, and I think it's going to come up out of there. We'll find out here in just a second. Let me see if maybe I can do it while I got the camera going. Yay! Alright. It come up out of there. Something worked like I wanted it to for a change. Alright, I'll be back. I'm going to pull this thing up out of here and clean up some of this mess and these tools, and we'll get this thing inside. It's getting ready to rain here. And I'll take it into the garage where I can clean it up. Be back.